Hey guys, Sam here. Welcome back to our channel and welcome to part one of a two-part series video where we build our own DIY ground-mounted wooden solar arrays. In today's video, we're going to cover everything you see behind me, the entire wooden substructure of our solar array. You're also going to notice there is another one already completed. You'll get some sneak peekage over there, but that's because we built that one to learn and this one we're building to share. In this video, we're going to be covering setting posts, doing orientations and layouts, building beams, and everything you see here. This is also part one of a two-part series, which will cover everything from the ground up on building your own solar array, largely with materials from a hardware store. So this build may seem a little bit larger or overkill compared to other DIY wooden solar array mounts you see on YouTube, but the reason for that is we regularly get a lot of wind out here, and I did not want to invest in this whole project to see it blow away down the yard. So we are using 6x6s, we are using concrete, we are sinking these posts really deep into the ground, and we are using large lag screws, hurricane brackets, and a lot of really good joinery that is designed and engineered to withstand wind, lateral movements, and be strong. That being said, we don't get super fancy and elaborate. Everything for this wooden array that you see behind me can be sourced from a hardware store, a building supply store, or similar stores wherever you are. My goal with this was to build something that could be easily done with one or two people, but also replicate no matter where you live. I've looked up a lot of ground mount arrays, and a lot of the ones at this size are metal. They are commercial units, and they are pretty elaborate things. I wanted to do something wooden because that's the way I roll, something DIY because that's the way we roll, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this. That being said, let's go ahead and get busy. Yesterday, Angela and I came out here and we did all of our layout lines, the string lines, measuring everything. We oriented it in the correct direction, facing the sun, directly south, solar south. What we're going to do today is start digging our footers. We're going to use the auger on the back of our tractor, and we're going to be digging these 3 feet deep. We have 20 total to do, 10 on the front array, 10 on the back array. So let's go ahead and get the string lines up and start digging.
All the holes are dug with the tractor. We do have a little bit of clean out work to do on all of them, and then we can move on.
All right guys, we're ready to put the post in the ground. Before we do so, we're going to be applying a product called Post Saver. This is a product that is designed to be heat shrinked around your post with a torch. It has got plastic on the outside, but the inside is like a black tar stuff, very similar to what you see a lot with roofing. But it's designed to go a little bit above ground, most of it below ground, and prevent water and fungal growth at your post near the ground level, which is what rots out the post. So we're going to be applying these right at that perfect height, measure the holes, make sure everything's done correctly. We'll use a torch to apply these, and then after that, we'll stick the posts in the ground. that is the general overview. It does take a little bit of practice to get that right. As you guys see in the video, we've already built the first array, so this is my 11th one that I've done, and it's probably the best one so far. Either way, the name of the game is not pretty. It's just to get it heated up, shrink wrap, and most importantly, get that tar material to kind of melt and flow into the wood. So, one down and about 9 more to go. Till we had a little bit of rain.
So this is the downside of this stuff. In the sun, it gets a little bit goopy and then it gets all over you.
Sounds like a reason to get your nails did. All right, so there's the 5 tall ones. What we're gonna do next is take 1, 2 and a half 6x6s, cut them in half to 6 feet length, and they're gonna be the front row of the array, which are shorter. Let's take a 5-minute break. All right, we're here at our last 6x6. This is a 12-footer that we're gonna cut in half just for our 6-foot dimension. I wanna bring you guys in close so you can see some, I don't know, speed square pencil action. Did you catch that one? That's pretty quick. Let's do it again. Here we go. Just gonna mark all the way around. Front, back, left, top, bottom, center. Giving it one rotation so I can reach this front side to mark it. And now it's as easy as using the circular saw, following the pencil line, cut, rotate, 4 times. When you get to the, I don't know, the candy center of this thing, you gotta kind of snap it and break it, because the regular circular saw, at least the 6.5 inch, doesn't go all the way through a 6x6. But that's okay, we're rough cutting these. The portions or the ends of the post that we are cutting are gonna be facing up and get trimmed later. All right, now there's only one little, like, probably a 3/4 inch square in the center of this that's still holding on. So I go to one end, kind of shake it, and watch out because it's gonna fall. Don't squish your toes. All right, let's pour some dry concrete. So all of our posts are in the ground, at least sitting in their holes. And as you heard or saw as I plopped the poles in the ground, there is some groundwater down there. And it's not, okay, not groundwater, it is rainwater runoff that just has not evaporated. So we are going to be pouring concrete directly into these holes dry. It will not be dry when it gets down there. It actually will work out probably perfectly.
Should.
So let's go ahead and get our concrete bags out. We will start at the tallest poles first. The first one here on this end we will put in, plumb it up, everything. We'll go all the way down to the other end, probably stretch a string line, get those in line, set that one, then we'll fill in the middle. And then we'll rinse and repeat for the front shorties.
Sounds good. Let's go.
We just finished setting the other end of our tall posts. We have a string line tied to that one down there. Now we're going to pull it tight around this one, and this string line will be the reference for the 3 middle posts to make sure they're put in the right distance to be as straight as possible.
I know.
It is the next day. All of our posts have set up overnight very well, so we are ready to move on to the next step. I'm down here at the lowest, shortest post we've got. So the way our ground slopes, it kind of slopes this way, and this is the front of the array, so this is our shortest one. What I'm going to do is use a speed square to find our pitch or angle, which for us, where we live, is going to be a 30-degree tilt towards the sun for best year-round solar production. We use a speed square to put our angle on the post, and then we're going to use a piece of PVC pipe just as a story stick to go from here at that angle up to the taller post behind us to make sure we have enough height, we're not going to be cutting ourselves short, and that everything's okay. Because this post with its angle is going to dictate the beam that goes across the short ones, and the tall one back here will also have a beam that goes across. So with a speed square, most of them have the angles here on the long side or the hypotenuse of the triangle. This is your pivot down here. We're just going to tilt this until the 30-degree mark right there lines up with this face. Hold it in place, and that is a 30-degree tilt. So now we're going to get the PVC pipe, we're going to hold it up here. We're going to make sure we are good on this other post, not getting too close to the top. If it looks great, then we're going to start to build the beams next. We are definitely good on heights. We've got, what is that? It's probably about 2 feet down here, and this one is the shortest one, so we're good. All right, we put our second mark here since we have so much height to work with. This will also help keep the array up as far off the ground as we can get, especially at the other front corner. So we have this one marked. Now we use the speed square, line that up right here, transfer the mark over, and this is now going to be the top of our double 2x6 beam. We're going to attach here and go all the way down this run. All right, I'm using some shorter little screws just to line things up and help hold it in place until we get everything locked together. Then we're going to do large lag screws. We have the first board tacked in place. We're going to work ourselves on down this line, just doing the first board. Once we get those done, we'll come back with our second, and then we'll really attach these with the long 6-inch long lag screws. All right, now we're working on our next run, and for this one we're going to sight down the 2x6, find the crown, hold it up at our joints. Angel's doing most of the detailed layout down there. This end just hangs out. We'll trim it later. Looks good. So we're going to do 2 of these 6-inch long construction grade screws, go all the way through both of these into the 6x6 and hold everything nice and snug. Each board gets a total of 4 6-inch lag bolts going from this into the beam, or from this into the post. And now I'm using these shorter 3 inches, about 4 of them, just to hold the 2 boards together as we span the post distance from post to post. And there we go. We are officially halfway done with the beams, although this absolutely was the easy one, right? We can do it on the ground, scuttle back and forth, no problem. the next set of posts, these guys, are gonna be up there in that sky just a little bit. Thankfully, we have a basket on the front of our tractor, and it's just a portable work platform. So, get our stuff together, get up there, and get it done. As you can tell, it's a little bit later in the day. I'm actually back out here. I didn't think I would make it today because we had to go to the store and get more lumber, return some stuff, but I want to try and at least get these two sections of the array locked together by putting the diagonal boards in place, or at least some of them, before we've got 3 solid days of rain, storms, and wind heading our way. I don't want these timbers or these posts to start shifting, because they will. 6x6s are notorious. If you don't lock them down when they're fresh, they start to move and twist on you. It's just terrible. So let's go ahead and start locking some of these down. First things first are the easy ones, the ends. They just get lag screwed right into the 6x6s, piece of cake. And then from there, we'll do something a little bit different, but stick around because you're gonna see it in just probably about a minute or two. I know you like playing on this. In order to line up all of these angle boards the same kind of overhang and make sure they are square, I'm going to be attaching a string line here on this end, running it around this edge all the way down to the other and tying it off. That then gives me a reference line to butt up to just barely with all these boards to make sure they're in a straight line. I've marked off on this beam every 3 feet, which is not an exact science for this, it's just the spacing I've chose. Now I'm going to be attaching some of these hurricane brackets. These are Simpson Strong Tie H1AZ brackets. I'll be putting them right here on the front of the beam and using 2.5 inch long Simpson connector screws, which are approved for these kind of fasteners. I'm just lining up the pencil mark with this right side of my bracket. Again, doesn't have to be dead on. This is not a critical spacing for this array build, but I am trying to also be precise. So I've got this in place. Now I'm going to drive the 4 2.5 inch long screws through the bracket into the beam. Okay, all of our Simpson hurricane brackets are up here on this front beam, locked down, ready to go. I'm gonna start carrying over our 10-foot long treated 2x6 boards. They're gonna be our angle boards. We'll lay them in this first bracket, pull it down till it just barely touches that string line, and then I'll lock it down with one screw, move on down the line. We'll get all these done first, then we'll come back and lock them down more officially. Everything is all done down here in short land on the array, so that means it's time to get in the tractor, on the basket or whatever, and get up here and do the same exact work to the top of these boards, the top beam. Lock it down. And there we have it. So as you guys are able to see from this construction method, there is nothing that is not what you would normally run into with regular construction. We did some layouts, we squared our lines, dug some footing holes, put posts in the ground with concrete, tried out those new post saver sleeves, which I think were really cool. I like those. And hey, it's a cheap insurance for this structure that we want to last 25, 30 years. Well worth it in my book. After the posts, building the beams was pretty easy. It's just regular straight joints. Using those lag screws is a huge time saver, and just things went together pretty smoothly. After the beams were done, using those Hurricane Simpson brackets to go the angles was a piece of cake. So while this may not be the most joinery, awesome solar array you will find, this is one that is super strong, very easy to build, and was relatively easy to do with 1 or 2 people. And that says a lot. Also, if you got any questions about this, feel free to leave me a comment below. If you are here real time, sit tight. We've got to do the rails and the solar panels at our next stage, but we've got some weather moving in. If you're here from the future, go ahead and look below at the link. The second video will be put there as soon as it's ready. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Leave us questions or comments down below. Take care. We'll see you guys next time working on the solar array.